Here are the top places to visit in Nova Scotia, Canada. First, I'd like to share a unique stop in New Brunswick that's on your way off the Bay of Fundy, Hopewell Rocks. Next, I'll bring you to northern Nova Scotia at Cape Breton Island. If you're into National Historic Sites, there's one dedicated to the man who invented the telephone, among other things. Alexander Graham Bell is originally from Scotland, but he made Nova Scotia his home as they are similar. From there, you can drive the world-famous Cabot Trail. It's a scenic 185-mile drive circling the island with views of the coast and highlands. It takes 5 hours non-stop to complete, but it's worth stopping at Cape Breton Highlands National Park. You will need a park pass if you plan on stopping for hiking. An easy, relatively flat hike with amazing views is the Skyline Trail. It's this park's most popular trail at 4.8 miles. It takes 2 to 3 hours to complete, but you don't have to do the full loop for this view. A secret spot off the Cabot Trail that you can hike out to is called White Point. I'd recommend seeing it. There's a lot of hikes to choose from here, but I'd also recommend the Middlehead Trail at 3.2 miles that takes about 2 hours to complete. This is a moderately challenging hike out to the end of a peninsula with a lot of uphill sections. If you're hungry after, right near this trailhead is the Celtic Lodges restaurant. The main port of the island is Sydney, home to the world's largest fiddle. Next, there are Bird Island boat tours that are worth dedicating a few of your hours to. They're educational about the birds you'll see, and they guarantee you'll see gray seals and Atlantic puffins. They offer great photography opportunities. I'll admit I saw way more bald eagles here than I've ever seen in the USA. Fortress of Louisbourg is a reconstructed fortress from an early French settlement. The British captured it twice, shaping history. Seeing the architecture here and interacting with the settlers will make you feel like you are in the 1700s.
If you want to be here for another 20 years, I'm your man.
You can easily spend a few hours here exploring the town, and if you get hungry, they do have a restaurant. A couple things you can't miss out on here are the cannon firing and when they rally the town for a public crime verdict.
He's all yours. Let's see what happens next.
All right, here we go. All right, who's got some rotten cabbages we can throw at him?
Wow, I wasn't paid for 7 months.
Okay. I suggest, for the love of God, please avoid breaking the law in the future. Please, s'il vous plaît.
That's all right. I forgot my cabbage. I put some in my sock, but the shoe is on the other foot.
I don't get it.
Traveling south of the island will make it to Nova Scotia's capital, Halifax. They have the Halifax Citadel National Historic Site, which is another defense fortress. They also have public gardens that you can stroll through, and I personally like any city with a green area. But the real touristy section is at the Halifax waterfront. It's worth walking the full length of the boardwalk because there's so much to see. It's filled with eateries, gift shops, Cow's ice cream, friendly places to hang out, hammocks, and of course, boats. You can tour Canada's naval memorial ship, the HMCS Sackville, for a donation, and visit a maritime museum. This is what their legislative building, the Province House, looks like. Just south of Halifax is this cute fishing village called Peggy's Cove. It's home to the Peggy's Cove Lighthouse, which is a staple of Nova Scotia. Another must-see place is Lunenburg. This is where Bluenose II docks, which is the famous ship pictured on Canada's 10-cent piece. You can book a cruise on it, but make sure you check its schedule so when you come to visit it, it's actually there. The last two places I'll show are Grand Pre and Port Royal National Historic Sites. At Grand Pre, you'll learn of the French deportation by the British. They have a famous statue of Evangeline, a character representing what happened here, and there's a connecting statue in Louisiana, one of the places where the French got sent off to. What happened at Port Royal is similar, with the English eventually taking over, but this town was reconstructed since it originally was the first French settlement here. It's interesting to look around and see how life was. If you don't want to drive out of Nova Scotia, you can opt to take a ferry. They have ferries to New Brunswick and to Maine in the USA. Hope this video helps plan your trip to Nova Scotia. Follow at Everywhere with Eva for more.